My name is Robin VILLMAN, and you're listening to Zen Disc Golf Podcast.
Hello, friends, and welcome to episode number 4 of the Zen Disc Golf Podcast. I'm super happy that you're able to make it to watch or to listen wherever you are to this show. I brought somebody on the show with me that maybe not everybody in America knows, but I'm definitely a fan of. His name is Robin VILLMAN, and he is a Swedish professional disc golfer, and he's just crushing it over there in Sweden. Before we get started with the show, I do want to show you the disc giveaway for this episode. It is a Thought Space Athletics Gorilla two-foiled stamped disc. It's the Animus from Thought Space Athletics, and this thing looks amazing. If you're just listening in your car, driving around, you're going to have to check out either Instagram or Facebook for a picture, or just go to the YouTube for a picture of the disc. But it is absolutely beautiful. It even has some, you can see it like some glittery sparkles in the plastic, which makes it extra cool. So I'm going to be giving away this disc for this podcast. All you have to do is go to YouTube, subscribe to the Zen Disc Golf Podcast on YouTube, and make a comment under episode number 4, this episode. And in 1 week, say next Monday, I will be giving this disc to somebody who subscribed and commented. It's that easy. Everybody, I'm proud to introduce you to Robin VILLMAN. Robin, I'm so happy to have you on the show. I've been looking forward to talking to you for weeks now.
Yeah, it's been super cool that you asked me to join the podcast. And of course, I would love to talk to you because I got your book like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you and I reached out to you and you said that you won a disc from me back in the day too.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. That gotta be like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, probably from back when I was doing the original podcast.
Yeah.
So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to be speaking mostly English to you because they don't teach us to be bilingual in America. And, no. Really, they don't really teach us much English either. And that's why a guy like me can become a best-selling author.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine for me.
So, Robin, how's the knee doing?
My knee is doing pretty good. It's like 3 months ago that I got a surgery. Uh-huh. Because last year I play soccer as well, and that's pretty like tempting for the knee. And I practiced a lot of soccer, so my knee got pretty ill. So it was what do you call it? The sinew.
Okay.
Underneath it got so thick, so I had to operate it, surgery. So I had to, like, it was 3 times as thick that it should have been.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was not good. So I had to do a surgery and make it thinner.
Okay.
Say it like that. Yeah.
Did you do a lot of physical therapy and stuff?
Yeah, 4 times a week.
Wow. So are you back out on the course now?
Yeah, I am. I'm playing fully now, but we have a lot of snow now, so I can't play right now.
No, you can't play in the snow?
We do play in the snow, though.
I would guess you'd have to up in Sweden.
Yes, we have to. Last year we didn't have any snow at all.
Oh, really?
Not here where I live, but we have a little ski lodge like 3 hours north from here that we have almost a meter of snow every year. So
oh, wow. Good. Yeah, I posted a photo of this young lady playing in the snow earlier this week, and the snow was up to her waist. And I posted something about, are you devoted enough for this? That's been like the most commented on photo I've reposted in a long time. It's like 700 likes and comments. Most people say, no, not devoted enough.
But we almost have snow in all Sweden right now. That's not very common.
Really?
And all the way down south in Sweden, they got a lot of snow as well.
Oh, okay.
That's not every year.
So
that's good that let them play in snow as well down south.
Yep. So, Robin, I brought you on this podcast because I want to make you famous in America, and I want that reciprocated in Sweden. I want you to make me famous in Sweden. Can you tell us your disc golf story? Because I've been watching your videos for a while now. First of all, I started watching you because I pay attention to who's paying attention to me on social media. And you were one of my heavy likers and commenters and all that kind of stuff. And then I reached out to you and you said, hey, yeah, I want a disc from you back in the day. And like you were saying, you read the book and all. So I pay attention to who pays attention to me. But you are crushing it in Sweden. And so I said, I got to reach out to this guy because, first of all, it'd be a unique conversation to kind of talk to somebody across the world who's crushing it in disc golf. But can you tell us your disc golf story?
Yeah, of course. I started playing disc golf for around 8 years ago. A close friend of mine just took me out to the course and he handed me an AVR and a rock like everyone else started. And after that, it was pretty easy in the beginning, I thought. I'm used to normal ball golf. So the transition from the ball golf to disc golf was pretty easy. And I liked the sport immediately. And I had a lot of friends who started playing at the same time. But they didn't catch up with the sport. They didn't understand how the sport worked immediately. And so that was the first step into the game.
So such as made the science of the throwing and the disc and the physics of how everything worked out. Is that what you mean? You caught on a little bit quicker?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a lefty in golf.
Okay.
And I'm a righty thrower in disc golf. So it's the same motion.
Right. Okay.
So that was pretty easy to copy.
Right. Well, you're such a smooth player. You're really enjoyable to watch. But I've noticed a lot of players in Sweden, just really smooth players. I don't know how to describe that in any other way. Just the way that you throw and follow through. I've also noticed that a lot of courses over there are just beautiful, first of all, but there's a lot of finesse shots that happen that y'all have to get really good at.
Yeah, we have so many different courses. Well, of course, you had it in the States as well, but in Sweden, it's a lot of woods.
Right.
It's not like Finland wood, but we have a lot of variety. I think we have 3 courses here in my town, and they're all totally different. So one national tour level, and then we have 2 more C tire level courses. So we have the perfect amount of what do you call difficultness, or what do you say
difficulty?
Difficulty, thanks. On the courses here, so that's perfect. And the courses are pretty nice. We have my home course here. It's a lot of ups and downs, and it's a lot of OB, and then we have water, and then we have everything on the course.
So that kind of forces you to have to be that smooth kind of finesse player like you are.
Yeah, we need to practice all the shots.
Yeah, because you're just a good standstill I've watched you do a lot of standstill drives right off the tee and still just crushing them out there. Not a lot of people are good at that.
No, the standstill shot is hard. I've just started practicing that because I saw, VILLMAN from Finland.
Okay.
The Prodigy player. He's so good and so consistent when he stands still. So that's how I picked it up from the standstill. Just because you can't do the full reach back, so you don't have that time to do the mistiming.
Right. But the standstill really helps on some of those wood shots where you're trying to cut the gap and.
Yeah, it really does.
Definitely. So we have a saying. I probably have the same thing there. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast.
Yep, it is. It's the same speech here.
So do me a favor. Take me through your tournament preparation. When you're getting ready to prepare for a tournament, what are some of the things you're working on and doing?
First of all, I want to be on the course so I can take a slow round, just to get to feel it. If I come to a totally new course that I haven't played, I just want to be there in time so I can not stress two rounds and then just play the tournament. I just want to take a slow round with a couple of discs and just get to know the course. You see where you should miss, what you can miss, and what you should not miss.
Gotcha.
That's one of the most important thing.
So you can make your little happy mistakes.
Yes, so I know where I can go for the air shot more.
Right.
And then I like to walk the course as well. Like, just you need to see the course, you need to learn the course. You need to be there a couple of days before. If it's a big tournament, if it's just like a sea tire or you get a 1-day event, it's okay to just play a couple of rounds before. You don't need that 2 or 3 days practicing before.
So you basically go, you walk the course, you're playing. When you're on the tee, are you taking off multiple discs, trying to remember exactly what you threw so that you can pull that back up from your memory bank?
Yeah, I always have my little sketching book. So I'm always like at T1, you throw at the M3 or on the second shot, you should not be on the left side, you need to be on the right side. So you just can go that through every night when you go to sleep or when you're sitting eating or anything.
Very good. That's really interesting. You actually bring a book and you write down. Yeah. That's really cool. I haven't heard that from anybody else yet. And you say you review that at night.
Yeah. It's like the caddy book. If it's a tournament with a caddy book, I always use the caddy book.
Right on. That's really interesting. And I just wrote a book, Disc Golf Strategies and Tactics. And now I want to go back and add that as a recommendation into one of my chapters. That's really great. Writing it down and reviewing it at night before you go to bed. So you just reached a 1,000 rating on a course last year. Is that correct? You played a 1,000 rated round?
Yeah, I reached 1,000 in rating twice last year.
Nice.
Just jumped up over. It's like 2 years ago before, 2019, I jumped from like 985 to 995 was like the year where I jumped up and down a rating. And last year it was between 1,005 and 995. So right. Jumping just like 10 points ahead every year.
Nice. And what are you attributing that to? What skill improvement wise?
Putting.
Putting. Tell me about that.
That's always been my issue with disc golf. That's the putting the close. I'm always my strongest part of the game is from the tee. So most of the birdies I do within 3 meters from the tee, right, and from the green. And the putting, I have never had that like the confidence in putting because I'm putting pretty hard. So when I miss, I get those. I use meters. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. So then when I miss,
they can do the math at home.
Yeah, of course. So it's like 7 times 3, right? 21 feet. Right. Mm-hmm. Should be correct. So when I miss, I get like 7 meters back. Mm-hmm. That's like pretty long comebacker putt.
Yes.
And that's got in my head, like if I miss. So that was my biggest problem before. Now like within 50 meters, I should hit some sort of metal.
Right. So are you spin putting or are you push putting or are you spush putting?
I changed from the normal stagger putt to a straddle putt just to trick my mind.
Okay.
I just needed to, when I made a change from the stagger putt, the normal, 1 foot front to the straddle putt, I just had to trick my mind really to like the muscle memory needs to reset.
Gotcha. So full body reset by changing the entire way you stand.
Yeah, and that had helped me so much. And nice. I changed from overstable putters to straight putters as well, and from soft to hard plastic.
Okay. So, and I guess tell me about your putting routine as you're practicing. I saw you made some videos on how you're doing that. As far as the drills you're using.
In the practice, like when I practice on the course or when I'm like have home in my backyard.
Right, in your backyard.
Yeah, I've used like the perfect putt 360. The app.
Okay.
I think that's it's fun. I like to compete to myself. Like if I'm putting from 3 to 6 or 9 meters, I just like to compete against myself all the time.
Tell me about the perfect putt. I've seen that before, but tell the listeners about how that works. The perfect putt 360.
You're getting like 3 distances, and then you need to make as many putts as you get from each distance, and then if you make every putt from every station, both rounds, you get 360 points.
Okay, and you're able to input that into the app, and then it shows you your improvement over time.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. So, are there any other skills that you've been working on besides your putting?
I'm practicing a lot with my mental game. I think that's one of the, not because I'm just on this podcast now, but I think the mental game is so important in every sport. You just need to learn to reset. If you miss a putt or if you miss a drive, you just need to reset and take the next job.
Right on. I call that shot amnesia. So like if you make a poor shot, or maybe you made a great shot, but just the elements have made it a poor shot, wind or whatever, to be able to walk on to the next shot and be able to have every shot be your first. Yeah. So how are you working on that? I mean, what methods or how are you learning to reset when you're doing that?
I've talked a lot to a mental coach.
Oh, really?
Emil down south in Sweden, he helped me a lot with this. And I don't know if we had a method. I just realized it. From one day to another day, you just realize that you can't change the past. You can't change the putt. You can't change the drive. And somehow I just realized that one day.
To just be in the moment, let every shot be its own.
Yeah, it's super hard. I still want to change the past, the last drive sometimes, of course, but it's gotten a lot easier now when you're working on it every day of the course.
That's a really good way to put it. Like I said, I call it shot amnesia, but you can't change the past. It's done.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. So with that coach, how did you get involved with them, and how did they kind of work on and try to help you out with that?
He helped me out a lot with my physics as well. So he helped me how to practice and how to get like the right balance in the body. So every night I do these small balance platforms that you can stand on 1 foot, so you just hold your balance. That I do every night when I brush my teeth.
Huh. All
just
right.
like so small things that keeps your body in trim every time. And he helped me a lot. I had some problems with my family, and he helped me a lot with that. So he talked to me in a way that it's good to have like a third person to talk to, not just your best friends or your dad or your brother. So you have like a third person outside. They don't know your background. So he helped me a lot, like coming back mentally.
Completely objective.
Yeah.
So is he a sports coach, a disc golf coach, or counselor?
He's a former. He played for Discraft like in the 90s, I think. He's played for a long time, and he's played Worlds and European Championships and most of it that you can play. So he has been a really good player.
Right on. Any other tricks that you use besides the balance ball, and because that's really interesting too.
Yeah, I think that's a good shape, like to have a small, like to 1 or 2 minutes practice, like not practice, but you just keep your body in trim. Yeah, he got me like a big sheet with exercises, so you can keep your body in balance every time. So you do a lot of standstill, and the core of the body is like the biggest part in disc golf. So it can help you have the balance and have the strength to play those 18 holes.
Right. And that's actually, I was talking to Eric McCabe this past week, and he attributed flexibility and strength in the core and balance to why he was able to accomplish what he did. So it's interesting to see a lot of other players recognizing that. I definitely need to work on my core. And my flexibility. My flexibility is terrible.
I think it's important. I have a friend of mine, he's a volleyball player, and he is super stretchy and flexible, and And I get sore after like 2 rounds of disc golf, and he's like super fresh, and we are almost the same age. And that's probably just because he does those exercises every time.
Yeah.
And so,
do you get down with yoga or anything?
no, not yoga, but I have my the foam roller.
Foam roller.
Like after every practice, that just keeps the muscles loose.
Right on. What about warm-ups before you play?
Every time, you really need to warm up.
So how do you warm up? Explain your warm up.
I always start to throw my putters. If we do by stop by throwing, but before I always start throwing, I like to just run a bit, not like 4 kilometers, but run back and forth, just get the blood circulation.
Okay.
So you get a little warm in your body, and then I always start with my putters. I don't know if it's just me, but if I start putting not warmed up, like not full committed to the putt, I would just, my mind would just say to me, no, you will miss the next putt. Like if I'm warm and I'm comfortable, like this is how I play my tournaments. Like my body's ready to play tournament now. Then I can start putting, because otherwise my mind trick me, like I'm not warmed up. And if I miss my putt, then mentally you will miss more putts, I think.
Kind of warming up your confidence level right there at the beginning. Yeah. Right on. That's why I always tell people to, whenever they get on a course, when they start putting, get real close. Don't start out at the edge of the circle and, well, I missed that one, I'm just not going to putt well today. You know, get like 8-10 feet away and just listen to the chains ring a little bit, and then your mind, you tell yourself that you can start hitting some putts and then start moving back. You agree with that?
Yeah, of course. If you get that first putt, if you're from 5 meters and you get that first putt and you have the perfect feeling, then you will shoot lower. Your mind will say that you will play better today.
Sometimes I'll walk up there and I won't even release the disc. I'll just hit the chains with the disc just to hear what they sound like and be like, okay, that's what's supposed to sound like.
Yeah, and then you back up 5 meters and then you lose terrible.
I'm warmed up. No, not 5 meters. I back up like 1 meter. Hit about, I don't know, 10, 12 putts.
Yeah.
All right, now I got confidence. All right, so you've got the blood circulating, you've hit some putts, you got that mind going. How else are you warming up before a tournament?
Then I like to go throw forehands.
Okay.
Because I use the forehands a lot for up shots and for these short approaches, just because you can see the disc all the way and you can see the basket the whole reach back.
That's a really good point. Let's pause right there. So with a forehand shot, so putting together the elements, you have a lot of tight gaps in some of these courses there.
Yeah.
When you're not throwing backhand the entire kind of run up, or the entire time you were, pull back with a flick shot, with a forehand shot, you're watching the gap the entire time. Versus a backhand where you're not supposed to look towards where you're throwing, because it just, the body mechanics don't work properly. So you end up looking away. So forehands, tight gaps, punch it through. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like it. So you throw forehands.
That makes it, the gaps gets bigger, because you can see that you don't get, like you said, you don't take your eyes away from the gap. And you should always aim past the gap and not aim for the gap. You should always aim past the gap.
I like that. That's good. I like that. Aim past the gap.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And after that, I like to throw like full shots with my putters in mid-range. I don't need to go up on my D2s or D1s immediately, because I like to get those full shots at 110, 120 meters with my mid-ranges. Just to see the whole disc fly, and then you get like the full power in the body.
Okay, right on. Okay.
That's the next step after the forehand approaches.
Okay, right on. And you are sponsored by Prodigy. Tell us about
that. I played back in 2016. I played a match play event in Stockholm. The match game. You say 101. And I was, nobody knew about me, and I was pretty new to the game. And I just went there, and I just loved the one-on-one feeling, because everyone can win. The beginner can beat the professional player.
Okay.
Because it's 9 holes, and so I just go down and play to see what I can do. And I played super good. I came in second place, and then the team manager from Prodigy Europe was there, and he came in third place. And that was it. And he saw me playing that round, and then he signed another player that was at that tournament. And then that Jonas, a friend of mine, he asked him, said, "Don't you need another player from Sweden in Prodigy Europe?" And then he said, "Yeah, we probably need another one." And then he just pitched my name, and from that tournament, he recognized me.
Oh, right on. Right time, right place, huh?
Yeah.
So is disc golf pretty much what you do now? Do you do anything else professionally, or?
No, I have a 7 to 4 work. I work every day as well, so 40 hours a week.
Right on. And then you hit the course on the weekends?
Yeah, and on the nights or before work or every time I get to free. So.
Wow, that's great. So what's your favorite course to play?
I like those long wooded courses that you need to use your driver, but you still need to shape your shot. I don't like those super wide open courses. It's always fun to go crush 500 feet drive, of course, but I still like the finesse in the woods.
I agree. See, I live in Virginia, and in Virginia, it's tightly wooded. We have Virginia style disc golf, and then they have the California style disc golf where they're playing it on the golf courses. And of course, I watch it, but it's just not. That's not disc golf where I come from. It's something completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely appreciate it because I can't throw that far as some of these people, but yeah, that's why I like watching people play in Sweden and Finland and Denmark, and because first of all, the courses are just beautiful, and hopefully one day I can get out there and play. But they remind me of Virginia style, North Carolina style disc golf, tightly wooded.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine. He's from Saukesty. How close is that, North Carolina?
Where is he from? I'm sorry.
Saukesty, you call that, or North Carolina?
So North Carolina is right below us in Virginia.
Okay. Yep. Okay. No. Yeah. He grew up there, and now he's moved over here. So he said as well, like you said, it's heavily wooded, and then he comes to Sweden, and it's almost the same.
Yep. It's just, I was watching your 2019 Prodigy, what was it? Prodigy Challenge or something earlier?
In Finland.
Yes.
Tally Open.
Yeah. Super enjoyable. I recommend everybody go check that out if you want to see some good stuff.
That was fun. That was the first time with like a lot of cameras and a big event.
Yeah, it was filmed beautifully and commentated by Seppo and Kevin Jones. So
yeah,
for us English speaking people, it was legit.
Yeah, it was good. It was great content, but I was pretty nervous. Me and you saw another guy, Henrik Hagman. He's also sponsored by Prodigy. So we were the two Swedes, and then it was Veina and Albertam.
Well, it didn't show that you were nervous to me.
My heart was beating. But
I'm sure.
The disc golf community is so cool. Like Albert and Veina, they are pretty good, if you can say it like that. And the community welcomes everyone to the sport, and that's like also one of the main parts that I start playing this and keep playing it.
Right on.
And the community.
And it's interesting. I don't know if I ever wrote about this, but I definitely talked about it in the past, that disc golf has definitely taken off in Europe, like big time. And partly that's because America still has this stigma attached to frisbees and like the
Yeah.
hippie movement, where y'all are starting kind of fresh, where it's, I mean, does that strike a chord? Does that seem
Yeah.
legit?
It started off as a real sport here.
Exactly. So it wasn't just like for us, it was like a bunch of hippies out there playing in the woods. For you guys, it was like, boom, we're a sport.
Yeah. We have a lot of courses in like parks, and we have like the hippie generation
Sure.
are still playing a lot as well. But those are not on the big courses. They are on those small courses in the parks.
Yeah. In America, kind of, we've had to get past and get over a lot of this, like I said, stigma or drug use and things like that. People that are not actually athletes. And I was talking to Scott Stokely on the first podcast, and I don't mean any disrespect to the first generation of disc golfers, but it's just interesting to see how far the sport has come since its beginnings, because you used to be able to like smoke weed out on the during PDGA sanctioned events, like they didn't care. They may have had a rule, but nobody enforced it. And so I mean, no disrespect to any of that, but for you guys over in Europe, it's like, boom, we're a sport. For us, we had to get over this kind of hump of the way that we were viewed out on the course.
Yeah, I think you're on something, and Finland is so much bigger than the rest of Europe. I think they have 3 times the courses than we have in Sweden.
Right on.
And that's so cool but in Finland is a country that they like to throw stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Everything, if it contains everything throwing, Finland is always good at it.
What else are they throwing?
These big spears.
Okay.
At like I don't know what like Olympics.
Okay.
Every Olympic.
It's like track and field kind of thing, where they're throwing the discus and spears, and I don't know what they're called either.
they are so good at those sports in Finland, and of course they're good at frisbee as well.
Yeah. Axe throwing has become a big thing here. Do you know anything about that? Do they do that there?
No, we don't have it here, and I have seen it on like Instagram and YouTube and stuff, but I haven't seen it like live in Sweden yet. But it's probably some bar somewhere that has one. But
yeah. Just a couple years ago, this thing just popped off, and people are, hey, I'm going to go throw some axes at the bar. It's like, that's great. They used to not allow you to have weapons while you're drinking. Now they encourage it.
Yeah.
Let's throw some axes. Let's get some alcohol involved and throw some axes. Sounds great.
That's typical American from here, if you can say it like that.
Typical American. That's funny. So tell me about that. How are we viewed there? Not apolitical. Let's keep it apolitical.
Okay, apolitical. Okay, yeah. But in disc golf, the European players are not coming over to the States so much. I don't know why really, but I think last year was, 2020 was a weird year. But before that, I think we had like 2 or 3 players from Sweden visiting the States. And of course, Seppo and Veina and Albert, those top players in Europe are going over. But those around 1,000 rated players, they're not taking the chance to go over to the States.
Why is that? What's going on?
I don't know, really, because I'm around 1,000 rated, and in Sweden I'm doing pretty good, and I would love to go to the States and just like try my wings and see how they hold up.
Sure.
But we work as well, 40 hours a week.
Yeah, okay.
And we are like these in this pocket. Can you say that, like semi-pro?
Okay, yeah.
You're sponsored, and you get like those fees. You get pretty good deals from those from Prodigy, and you get this sponsor money in. But you can't like take the step and go 100%.
Yeah, it's just different, huh?
Yeah, so a little tweener between that.
Yeah, and I mean here you're talking the people who can make a career and not do something else are like the top, 3%, 5%. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you go from like the top 10% to the top 3%, how much those guys make, like the Paul Macbeths and the Ricky Wasakis and all them, how much they make compared to maybe, I don't know, a couple hundred players down from them. Yeah. Most of us here are I mean, I can't speak because I don't have no actual statistics, but I would say 98% of disc golfers, 99% of disc golfers couldn't do it full time either. I mean, I work 52 hours a week. I'm a firefighter, so it's a different schedule. But I do 52 hours a week, and just like you, whenever I'm off, I'm trying to hit the course. But I'm also not even semi-pro. I just write about it, and I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. That's all I am. I have an Instagram account, and I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah, you have a great Instagram account as well.
Well, thanks. I'm just trying to keep up with you.
Yeah. No, but I think it will be. I would love to go over to the States, and I'm planning on going over to the States and make like a full season there from like April to October. But it takes a lot of planning, like with your boss, with your family, with everything. You need to plan.
Sure.
And if you want to make a living out of it, you can't live in Sweden.
Yeah.
No, you can't just go touring here in Sweden.
Yeah. Like I said here, I mean, that's definitely, I mean, even in America, that's definitely a huge jump to take. And a lot of these guys are just free falling when they do it too. You kind of burn your bridges and burn your boats and say, I've got to make it now.
But isn't that like I like that thinking as well. Like a bit like you throw it, you just try it out. And if it doesn't work, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Just try it. If you really want it, you should definitely try it.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody has that thinking here. That thinking's probably pretty rare, but I will say probably the most successful people in the world kind of follow their passion and say, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm dropping, everything, all my eggs in this one. We're always told, don't put all your eggs in one basket, don't put it all in one basket. But it looks like the most successful people to ever live just said, well, screw it. I'm going to do it anyway and put all my eggs in one basket. There's an author, Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. You ever read that?
No.
It's amazing. If you can get your hands on a copy of it, it's not about getting rich. I don't know. It's just, that's what he wrote about in the early 1900s. Those were the terms that he used. I don't even think that was the original title of the book, but maybe the publisher forced him to title it that. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it's all about that mindset of being all in and being positive about doing things like that. And, but yeah, I think that mindset is really powerful as far as success goes. That was a big influence for Zen and the Art of Disc Golf, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, I think that's the big, like, if you want to do it, then you should try it. What can happen? You can always move back to Sweden, right?
Especially, do you have kids, Robin?
No, I don't.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Now's the time.
Now is the time. It is the time right now. I just divorced my girlfriend like 3 months ago, and so now I'm full single, and I'm ready to go and play disc golf somewhere else.
Right on. Well, we look forward to having you here in the States. Yeah. Like I said, you're just a smooth player. Like, that was the first thing I thought of. I was like, because whenever I'm researching somebody to have them on, I'm looking at the entire picture. I'm like, how are they putting? How are they throwing, their touch shots? How are they coming off and I was like, this guy's smooth, and all of his is just really smooth. You have that hand up follow through every time. And I'm like, yeah. This guy's got a routine down. I think you're going to be really successful.
Yeah, thanks. I hope so. I play a lot, so I practice a lot. I practice more than I play.
That's what it takes to develop mastery, right?
Yeah, it does.
Well, you're a better player than I am. I can tell you that. So what is the best piece of advice somebody's given you on the course? whether it's about throwing or mindset or anything that you can think of?
I think it is the mindset, like we talked earlier, like forget the last shot and just focus on the next shot.
Okay. Shot amnesia. I like it.
Yeah, I think that is the most important lesson I got. That was on the course. So
Awesome. Awesome. So, Robin, where can people find you?
people can find me on Instagram. Instagram is like it's one of my thing in disc golf. I used to love posting on Instagram, and a lot of people are texting back to me and asking for advice or like what disc should I have and how can I be better. And the Instagram community is so awesome.
It is.
And it just explodes
as
well.
And that's how Zen Disc Golf got big too. Instagram all the way. Now I'm struggling to catch up with YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube is hard. YouTube takes a lot. I tried out the YouTube thing, like vlogging, and I love doing it. But it takes a couple hours to film. It takes a lot of hours to just edit it.
Right.
And then the hours of the day's end. You don't have 36 hours on the day, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what's your Instagram name for everybody?
My name on Instagram is Robin VILLMAN, like Willman, like my full name, just right up.
So, okay, great. And are you planning on continuing the vlogs and stuff on YouTube?
If I get the time. This year tournaments are coming every weekend.
Okay.
This year, if we are allowed to travel and if we're allowed to play tournaments, I don't have any weekends off almost. So that's hard. I can't promise like doing every week, but I will do disc reviews. I will do when everything new comes out. I will of course compare it to the old stuff.
When you say if they allow traveling, what do you mean by that? Just fill everybody in on the traveling situation in Sweden.
We are not allowed to leave the country.
Wow.
It's that easy.
Are y'all locked down as far as what, I mean?
So, yeah, like maybe you don't notice the Swedish COVID situation. It has been pretty like not taken that serious, like can look like out in public, but we have our restrictions, and at work we can only be like 3 people at the office. And we have a lot of technicians like coming in, but they're not allowed to come in if we are more than 3 people. So we have pretty hard restrictions here as well. But I hope that they start doing the vaccine now.
Right.
I hope that we are allowed to travel in June when it starts up.
Wow. This COVID thing has been crazy.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Greg Barsby, and we just had a short conversation on the phone, and that was one of the things that we talked about. You know, this world has just gotten so crazy, and COVID has just shut disc golf down earlier this year, made it really hard on everybody. I mean, it's hard on everybody, period, disc golf or not, but we were just talking about it in terms of what it did to the top layer playing professionals, because you never think that at any moment that your job could just be stopped by the government.
It's rough.
It's hard. Well, I definitely hope that they open up travel, and I hope you can make it over here. If you ever need a place to stay in Virginia, my home is welcome to you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, come on over.
Really cool.
Yeah, we'll go play around. We'll film it. We'll put it on YouTube and Instagram, and it'll blow up. You just
then we blow up.
beat the pants off me.
Yeah.
All right, Robin.
I'm planning on taking the flight over to the States next year.
Awesome.
This season, yeah.
Do you know where you're going?
To the Preserve and to Ledgestone.
Right on. We'll look for you there.
That would be awesome to meet up in person.
Yes, absolutely.
So if we are allowed to travel, I will play the Preserve and the Ledgestone.
Fantastic. Well, best of luck to you. So everybody follow Robin VILLMAN. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
on Instagram and YouTube. and everywhere else, that you just Google his name and just hit follow under everything you can find, because he's one to look out for. So Robin, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was such a good time.